Imagine this. You're out in the dark. Everything's quiet. Then out of nowhere, a tiny shadow swoops down. Not a monster, not a superhero, just something real, alive, and really, really weird. Here's the thing. Some animals out there have powers so strange, they feel like they were ripped straight out of a comic book. But they're not just funny facts to laugh at. Each of these creatures hides a lesson, something we can actually use in real life. Tonight, we're diving into 3 of the weirdest. One that drinks blood with surgical precision, one that farms underground like a tiny gardener, and one that survives the coldest storms on Earth wearing a tuxedo the whole time. We're not just talking animals. We're talking focus, teamwork, sacrifice. So buckle up, because the strangest creatures often carry the strongest lessons. All right, first up, the vampire bat. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Dracula with wings. But trust me, this little guy is way weirder and way smarter. Picture a cow sleeping in the middle of the night. Everything's calm. The cow has no idea. Then flutter, flutter, the bat lands silently near its feet. No drama, no fangs in the neck, just quiet precision. Here's the crazy part. The bat's nose works like a built-in thermal camera. It can literally see heat. It scans the cow's skin until it finds the warmest spot. That's where the blood vessels are closest. Boom, perfect target. And when it bites, it's not messy. Its saliva has a special chemical that keeps the blood from clotting. So the flow just keeps going, while the bat gently laps it up. Only a few teaspoons. Enough for the night. Efficient, precise, no waste. Now, get this. Vampire bats don't even chew. They can't. Their whole diet is liquid. Talk about commitment to a lifestyle. But maybe the wildest thing? They actually share. If one bat doesn't find food, another bat will literally regurgitate blood to help it survive. Gross? Yeah, but also kind of sweet. The weirdest dinner party ever. And unlike most bats, these guys can walk, hop, even run on the ground. They use their wings like crutches. It's creepy, but also kind of impressive. So what's the lesson here? The vampire bat shows us that real power comes from specializing. Precision, efficiency, adaptation. Even the strangest strategy can help you thrive in a tough world. Now, let's shrink down, way down, because the next creature isn't scary at all, unless you're a leaf. Meet the leafcutter ant. Tiny body, giant attitude. These little guys can carry pieces of leaves 50 times their own weight. That's like you hauling a car over your head while jogging home from work. Ridiculous, right? But here's the twist. They don't even eat the leaves. Nope, they're farmers. They drag those giant leaf chunks underground, chew them into mulch, and use them to grow fungus. That fungus? That's their real food. Basically, ants invented agriculture millions of years before humans thought of it. And it gets even crazier. Inside their underground cities, every ant has a job. Some cut leaves, some carry, some tend the fungus gardens. Others take out the trash. They even have special waste workers who haul garbage far away so it doesn't ruin the colony. Tell me that's not the most organized HOA you've ever heard of. So what's the big lesson from an insect smaller than your fingernail? Teamwork, innovation, discipline. The leafcutter ant shows us that even the tiniest individual, when part of a system, can achieve something massive. They remind us that real progress comes when everyone does their part, no matter how small it seems. And now, from hot jungles and tiny tunnels, to the coldest place on Earth. Meet the penguin. Sure, they look cute, waddling around in tuxedos, but behind that goofy walk is one of the toughest survival stories in nature. Picture this, a blizzard, minus 60 degrees, winds screaming across the ice, and in the middle of it, a crowd of penguins huddled together, shoulder to shoulder. They rotate, so every bird gets a turn on the warm inside, and then back to the freezing edge. It's like the world's fluffiest survival blanket. That's not just cute. That's teamwork on a life or death level. And get this, penguin dads? They're hardcore. The father balances a single egg on top of his feet, and covers it with his belly for 2 whole months. No food, no breaks, just standing there in the freezing dark until mom returns from hunting. Talk about dad goals, but don't let the tuxedo fool you. When penguins dive into the ocean, they transform. They rocket through the water at 25 miles per hour. Their feathers trap tiny bubbles of air, so they can glide like little torpedoes. It's like watching a bowling pin turn into a missile. So what's the lesson here? Sacrifice, unity, adaptability. The penguin shows us that survival isn't about being the strongest. It's about sticking together, making sacrifices for the next generation, and knowing how to thrive in the harshest conditions. So, what do we get when we put all these strange creatures together? The vampire bat shows us precision and efficiency. The leafcutter ant reminds us about teamwork and innovation. And the penguin teaches us sacrifice, unity, and adaptability. 3 animals, 3 totally different worlds. Yet all of them whisper the same truth. Survival isn't about size. It's not about who's the loudest or the strongest. It's about finding your unique advantage, working together, and daring to sacrifice for something bigger. Nature's weirdest creatures carry some of the most powerful lessons. And maybe, the weirder it looks, the more wisdom it hides. If you had to choose one survival skill from tonight's animals, would you pick the bat's precision, the ant's teamwork, or the penguin's sacrifice? I'm curious which lesson speaks to you most. So there you have it. The blood sipper, the tiny farmer, and the ice survivor. 3 creatures that look bizarre, but carry wisdom deeper than we expect. They may not wear capes. They may not star in comic books, but they prove that the strangest strategies can be the strongest. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. If you enjoyed this ride into the weird side of nature, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's way easier than carrying a leaf 50 times your weight, and it means you won't miss the next adventure. Stick around for more weird animal facts and the surprising lessons hidden inside. See you in the next one.